This could be the best well-known secret of any cruise line shore excursion in Cozumel, Mexico. Tortugas, 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 Tortugas. It is quite a few things. It is a 8 to 10 minute drive. You'll have to take a taxi to get there. It's a beach club. It has an all-inclusive, it has a basic beach club. It's got some parasailing, scuba, jet skis, snorkel. We will stick to the all-inclusive because that's what we did on our last few times to Cozumel. We did it on Wonder of the Seas, we've done it on Majesty of the Seas, and we've done it on Icon of the Seas. All-inclusive with multiple people at different parts of the year. Now, I will warn you, this is a shore excursion that Royal Caribbean or Carnival, they do not promote. This is its own like third-party one. Yes, you'll have to book it on your own. You'll have to find it on your own. There's no transportation. It will be slightly harder in that sense, but you don't have as many people. The main attraction that I will be talking about is the all-inclusive Beach Club. That one is normally around $56 online, which you can pay online, which honestly, I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. I would probably bring some cash, pay for it at the Beach Club, which fluctuates. I feel like last time we paid $60, then on the website it says it's $80. I will not get into the details of the basic beach club, the snorkeling, the scuba, the parasailing, the jet skis, because I've never done that before, so I'm not going to review something that I've never done. They do open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. almost every single day. Whenever your cruise docks, you can technically go to it from the airport or whenever you're in Cozumel as well. It is mainly a beach club with a nice waterfront, a bunch of food, bar, small restaurant. We got a lot of activities. The main attraction is laying there, eating, getting in the clear water, being able to swim in the clear water, play on these inflatable things all day long, and just enjoy yourself in that nice Cozumel sun that hurts so bad whenever you don't put sunscreen on every hour on the hour. Main thing is, how do you get there? From the cruise port, whichever cruise line you choose, you're gonna have to get a taxi of some sort. If you know Cozumel or been there anytime, you basically have to go through all of these twists and turns to get to the taxi area. There's a bunch of signs everywhere. They'll show you where the taxi is. It's not as easy to get to as you think unless you've been there before, but there are signage. The only problem is whenever you weave and turn, you get distracted by like duty-free shops. People saying, hey, you want to buy this? You want to buy this? You want to buy this? Once you find the taxi place, there's actually a sign right there. It will tell you all of the destinations and their fixed prices. Now, this changes from how many people you have. So we usually have less than 4 people. And I think the last time we went was supposed to be $16, $17. Now, I will give you a helpful tip here. You need to bring cash because number one, they don't take cards in the taxis. And number two, they don't have any change. They don't have any change supposedly. So I ended up giving the guy $20, even though it was like $16. So don't be me. Please don't be me. The taxi takes about 7 to 10 minutes to actually get to Tortugas. It will actually tell you kind of a rough estimate on the sign, and it's not very long. You get to see like the heart of Cozumel, see all the street vendors, all the little restaurants that you go through, a casino and everything like that. So it's not terribly bad of a transportation. And all of the taxi drivers, they do speak very good English. So once you get there, you'll be greeted with a bunch of people. They'll try to take pictures of you. Then you'll have to pay for the pictures. I didn't pay for any of the pictures. But they'll tell you all of your options. Do you just want to do the day pass where you don't get any of the food or drinks and just play around, which is way cheaper? I'll put that somewhere on here. And then the all-inclusive is what we normally get. And you pay with your cash or your card. You can pay on it online beforehand, but you have to do an exchange rate. You have foreign transaction fees on your credit card. So if you want to avoid that, I would probably just pay when you get there. It might be cheaper online, but they do have some weird cancellation policies. I'll kind of post this somewhere on here. That way you can see their cancellations. If your cruise port doesn't dock in Cozumel, if you cancel 72 hours beforehand, but I'll put it on the screen. The amenities that you're gonna get are all of the staff speaks wonderful English. There's no problem understanding anybody there. Of course, they speak Spanish as well. Like I told you, it's open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. almost every single day. I don't know about Christmas, no clue on that one. It is a inflatable water park. I feel like they've changed the inflatables. Sometimes they're better and sometimes they're worse. Sometimes there's like a hole in the trampoline, or sometimes there's not a certain inflatable that you're looking for, or there's not something that you're laying on, or there's too many people on an inflatable. So it kind of varies season to season. You do get an umbrella to keep you covered in the shade. That's not any extra charge. All the chairs this last time were wooden, pretty sturdy. They give you tables. That way you can put all your stuff in. I believe they also have designated lockers, but you have to like spend money to get the lockers. We never got the lockers because it's pretty safe. You can see your stuff on the beach. On the list of what's included, there is a snorkel, which they do give it to you. They'll give you all the snorkeling gear. They put it in this little tub with soap, water, I don't know what else. It's kind of weird. My wife's really weary about putting her mouth on snorkeling gear somebody else has had, but I didn't really care because, I mean, you're gonna clean it with water anyways. They give you the little goggles, snorkeling gear, you put it on. Now, the caveat here is they will take your set sail pass, whatever pass you're using on the cruise, and take it. That way they basically have collateral, so you return the snorkeling gear. It's really not that difficult. You give them the card, they have it in a little folder, they keep it, they don't lose it. They give you the snorkeling gear. Once you give the snorkeling gear back, you get your card back. And of course, the all-you-can-eat food and the alcohol, which I'll go into detail, is included with the all-inclusive. They do have free Wi-Fi here. I never really gone on it just because you're supposed to be enjoying being out there, so I try to not be on my phone. The only reason I'm on my phone is to capture some memories and things like that. That's kind of why I like to have an extra camera and things of that nature to be off of my phone. Now the beach, I will tell you, is beautiful. We've been to Chacanab, which has an okay beach. It's really rocky, you might die. This one is more secluded, so you're away from a lot of people. The water's super clear. It can be super windy and super sunny at the same time and change every 5 seconds. But you will see a bunch of inflatables out there. People will be swimming, jet skiing, snorkeling, scubaing, kayaking out there. The only way to get out there is actually through this really, really rusty old ladder that's probably been there for years now, that's got barnacles, seaweed on it, and it's super slippery. Once you get down the little tiny rungs, just hold on to those handrails all the way down into that water. You will be met with quite a few fish, and the rocks there, they're not jagged at that point in time. They're pretty smooth, so you can go barefoot here, and swim shoes are always better. I would not try to go into the water just straight from the rocks. That's dangerous. You're gonna hurt yourself, something's gonna happen, you're gonna slip, you're gonna fall and die. I will also warn you, there are no lifeguards. Matter of fact, last time we were there, we had a family of basically a couple, a man and a woman, an aunt and their 2 kids. They swam out too far and they started yelling for help. They couldn't get, one of them started panicking, then another one started panicking, then more people panicked. So me and Amanda and some other guy with a cigarette in his mouth, which was smoking at the time, just swimming over there, and we saved them, got them out. They didn't put life jackets on. Just warning, be careful out there. If you can't swim very well, just don't go out there at all. And if you do, you can rent one of those life jackets near the snorkeling place. I believe you probably still have to give them your card, but they give you a life jacket. Once you're in the water, you can jump on these inflatables. There's a trampoline out there. You can jump up and down to your merry way. You can go across certain inflatables. Now, most of the time they're super hot, so you're gonna have to put water on. They're super slippery once they're wet. And a lot of them have really, really hard ladders to climb up on. You're gonna be pretty exhausted trying to even get up on some of these inflatables. Every once in a while they'll have like a flat mat out there. You can just climb on that, not too hard to get into, and just have yourself a good old time there. The earlier you get out there, the less people that's gonna be on the beach, but that's probably true anywhere. Around, I guess, 2 or 3 p.m. when we were about to end our day, I feel like 50 people showed up somehow. And I was like, don't you all have to get back on your cruise ship? But these people might have been from somewhere else. I have no idea. And like I told you, the water is absolutely stunningly beautiful. You can see right through it. I believe there's some nets way out there, so I wouldn't be worried about sharks. I've never seen a jellyfish there. If you were to see something dangerous, you could just see it visibly. It's crystal clear water. If you've never been near Cozumel in the Western Caribbean, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. That water is just beautiful and stunning, and I miss it so much. It's been like 2 or 3 months now. Next topic we're gonna go on to is food and alcohol, because everybody loves the food and alcohol. What's included in the food and alcohol? According to their website, they have fajitas, tacos, quesadillas made of beef, chicken, or fish. They also have breaded fish, garlic, grilled fish. They have a domestic open bar. They got bottled water, sodas, juices, draft beers, margaritas, rum punch, tequila sunrise, Long Island iced teas, Bloody Mary, Sex on the Beach, House Daiquiris, Blue Lagoon, Blue Hawaiian. They don't include their premium brands. I'll have a menu listed up here somewhere, that way you can see it. But most of their food is pretty good. I will tell you, I personally like the chicken and the beef fajitas. They come out on a little tiny sizzling plate. They don't really limit you. If you want another one, you get another one. Another thing is the chips and salsa, guacamole. My wife loves that guacamole. She, matter of fact, says that paying the $60 plus was worth it to come out there, enjoy it, and eat the guacamole. There's something about eating freshly made guacamole in the Mexican heat and on a beach that you're not gonna beat. And there's something about just drinking like these tiny beers, they'll give them to you. They're kind of in smaller cups, and just drinking it with a lime. And if you want another one, they'll keep giving you another one and another one, another one, and another one. They always come by. The quesadillas were pretty good. For the most part, I mean, you're not gonna get 5-star quality food here, but we're talking like mainly typical Mexican restaurant, Americanized food that most people will enjoy. If you're overly picky, you're not gonna enjoy it whatsoever. They do have most of your Mexican beers. I believe they have Dos Equis, Corona. I'll have a whole list beside of me. They do come in smaller cups, but they'll keep on bringing them to you. They do have quite a bit of mixed drinks, but I think these are kind of watered down. If you just like pounding alcohol, I'm sure you can get really, really happy after a while. Next thing is service. The service is great. You will be welcomed. Everyone's smiling, really happy. They do not harass you for the most part. I believe there's like maybe 1 or 2 people who are trying to sell you, photos or some jewelry, but they don't really come around too often, unlike some other places that just harass you to death. I've never had a problem getting food or drink. They always come up to the beach. They make sure everybody's service. They bring out the food and drink so fast. I believe whenever we ordered food, it took them less than 10 minutes. They brought a plate out. They brought plates, napkins, silverware. They brought an extra table out there so we could put all our stuff on there. They cater to you there very, very much so. Now, granted, when it gets busier, it's a little different. You can actually go inside of their little bar and restaurant, and they have a place that you can sit down in the shade, and you have a dedicated waiter. You can probably get things faster. We normally do not do that because we like hanging out at the beach, so I really have no experience there. Either way, if you ever need anything, they will help you out tremendously. People always ask, how's the bathroom situation? Like, well, you got a whole ocean out there, but they tell me that's not a good answer to that. They do have, I believe, 2 sets of bathrooms. There's one for like scuba and snorkeling people, and then there's one closer to the restaurant. It is quite small. People get in and out of there pretty quick. It's basically your typical bathroom scenario. There is running water at least. For the pros and cons, I have a few pros here. Obviously, it's beautiful. It is wonderful to see. It's like a hidden gem, so I believe probably in the next few years, if this video catches on and people will get to see Tortugas, people will end up going there more often. Ditch all the Royal Caribbean Carnival main shore excursions, going on third party. It is all you can eat, truly. The waitstaff is wonderful. They're great to you. They'll get everything that you need, get all the drinks and food. Food is at least, I'd give it a 7.5 or 8 out of 10 on that scale. The service is wonderful, like I said, 10 out of 10 on that one. Perfect English, don't have to worry about anybody being misinterpreted or couldn't understand anybody, so that's not an issue whatsoever. The cons that I'm gonna have is, you know, getting a taxi. Make sure you bring cash. Cash money is gonna be good here. Make sure you have 5s and 1s. Always have 5s and 1s. If you got a 20, that's great. You can tip your taxi driver. You can pay in cash at Tortugas. I believe they take card, but we didn't do that because then you'd have a foreign transaction fee. Some credit cards, you won't have a foreign transaction fee. If you're one of those people who are very weary about taking a third-party shore excursion, this is probably not gonna be for you, because you basically have to find your own taxi. You got to get there on your own. You got to make sure your time management skills are good, and you got to leave at the right time. So I always say leave about 2 hours before your ship says they're going to leave. That way if you run into traffic or anything else happens, or you're waiting on a taxi, waiting on somebody else, waiting on traffic, you have plenty of time to get back. So if that gives you anxiety, don't even go on this one, because it's not sponsored by any of the big cruise lines. It's a third party. Also, another con is if you do not do very well with swimming, if you're not a strong swimmer, you're gonna need a life jacket. If you don't want to take a life jacket, there's no lifeguard. I was a lifeguard, so I guess I need to get paid to be a lifeguard down there. I don't know how much they make as a lifeguard. I'm sure I can look it up somewhere and put it on here. And I can add that to my resume as a Cozumel Tortugas lifeguard for saving a few children. In conclusion, I would definitely go here if you're gonna go to Cozumel on any type of cruise line. It is basically a secluded, secret place for the most part now that people will definitely enjoy if you like water, hanging out by a beach, eating food, drinking a few drinks, and just relaxing in that wonderful Mexican sun. I would at least give it an overall rating of a 9 out of 10, just with all the factors of getting there, paying the money, whatnot. For the price, it's probably a little bit on the pricier end just because of the 65 plus or $60 plus. They'll probably end up raising it even more. So if you're not going to eat or drink a lot of food, enjoy yourself, there's obviously cheaper options here. But anytime we get to go to Cozumel, I will not go to Chacanab, I'll go to Tortugas, 100%, 1,000 times over and over. Hopefully this will help you out, make your decision slightly easier. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about it. If you've been there before, great, leave it down below. If you've never been there before, are you gonna go? Hopefully you do. Hopefully you don't get lost and never make it back to your ship and then you blame me. But either way, you probably had fun, right?